G'day, this is Captainoob, and here is a rare channel update. I usually don't do these because I don't really have anything poignant to bring up, but the circumstances that I've got today are a little bit more drastic than usual. So I haven't been putting out a lot of content on the channel recently due to me actually getting injured at work. Nothing life-threatening, but it's YouTube channel threatening because I sliced my finger, index finger and the pinky too. Pinky's fine, that's all stitched up and ready to go. But my index finger, the tendon has been severed there, and my hand is going to be in a brace for at least the next 4 to 5 weeks at this stage. So I can't play on the computer, can't hit the WASD keys, and I definitely can't use the controller. If I overuse my index finger as it is now, I'll either have to get more surgery to make sure that the tendon is reattached if it breaks loose from overuse, or have the finger cut off entirely because I won't be able to move it at all. So at the moment, two-handed video games, I can't do that. However, there is one game out there that I still can play, XCOM 2. It's a strategy game, it doesn't require quick reflexes or fast button pushing. You can take that one as slow as you want to. And usually I would have played it by now, but I put it a little bit on the back burner due to the big Starfield being released in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, in fact, as of this recording, which is unfortunate because I won't be able to make content on it early at all. I won't be able to progress through the game until possibly a few weeks after launch, and by then everything will be covered under the sun, so I don't think I'll find myself a niche, at least at the first stages of its being released. But I'm confident that Starfield will be a great game, and if anyone at Bethesda is watching right now and you've currently got a key sitting for me, it's probably better to send it to someone else because I won't be able to experience it until well after release date. So if you've got a finite supply of those keys, just give it to someone else because I won't be able to utilize it. I'll just buy it with my own money a little bit later on, but I am still very keen to play Starfield. So for the moment, I'm sitting on a couple of projects that I've been working on. One of them is a mod for Fallout 4. I usually make follower mods, but this one I've put in a whole lot more work into. This one will have a quest, and I'm learning a lot about the creation kit as I'm doing this, and the more I learn, the more I can utilize to make more mods in the future better. But you'll be finding Nina. Now, that's not a follower mod that I've really had. In fact, she was first created in Fallout 4 just to make up numbers for the XCOM 2 campaign, but she's shown her colors there. She's been very good. Just ask Miles about that, and if you know, you know. But what I've done with her is I've actually made a little bit of a quest so you can go on with her, you can take out some monsters. I won't reveal too much, but I'm trying to inject a little bit of story into there, and maybe I might develop my skills as a modder to do something a little bit better. I've also ported Darklands from XCOM 2 into Fallout 4. I think that would have to remain as a private mod though, because at the moment I haven't contacted Firaxis or whatever their parent company is. I think it's 2K. Whether I can post their assets as a mod, it's like a non-for-profit mod. Usually the Nexus, if you get the permission, Nexus will allow you to host ported assets from the mod. That's why I see all these COD ports, because as it turns out, all of the Call of Duty developers, they're okay with you porting their stuff over into Fallout 4, as long as you're not, getting paid directly for their assets, which is nice. So that's good. I also recorded the process of changing my front headlights in my Commodore. I recorded that like a step-by-step process of what I went through to do it, just to, go along with the journey. And I've got those all saved on my phone, but I need to put them all together and maybe add some commentary and tips, because when I looked online to install those specific headlights for the Commodore Chevy SS from 2015-ish, if you're in America, that's what it is. Photo on screen now. But what I did was just sort of documented my experience of putting those lights in, and maybe if someone else would have buy those lights earlier. And I actually know the owner of that company that sends those aftermarket kits out, so, might send some more traffic his way, no pun intended. But I think it's a pretty cool experience doing some actual mechanical work and, well, mechanical. I'm just installing some headlights. It's nothing really that serious, but it was a fun experience, and I want to show off what I went through because I feel like that might be something interesting. As for the XCOM 2 playthrough, I'm thinking of... Normally, the viewership on the series goes really well for, like, the first episode, then it drops off completely because, obviously, a Fallout channel is not going to draw a whole lot of views for a strategy game that is completely different. But XCOM 2, especially the War of the Chosen expansion on that, has to be one of the best games in history. I've got a very strict top 3 of games: is Fallout 4, and then XCOM 2 in second place, then Killzone 2 in third place. It's unfortunate that I can't really play that, at least make a playthrough series of it, because, like I said, I can't even use a PlayStation controller. Sure, I could take the brace off and just use my middle ring and pinky fingers to operate the triggers, but honestly, the risk is too great. I'm going to, you need your reaction. I'm going to not think about it and then just start using my index finger with the severed tendon to do stuff, and then that'll break stuff. So that's not good, so I won't be doing that. But I did stream Killzone 2 a little bit, and people seem to like it. It's one of the best games ever for the PS3 era of consoles. I think it came out in 2009, so the way that game looks, even after all these years, it's still a great looking game, and it actually gets okay frame rates even on my current computer, which is a laptop, so it's small, and it's probably going to get replaced when I get my hands on Starfield, because it's old and it tends to overheat a lot, and I'm guessing Starfield's going to be quite intense on the old CPU and everything else. That's the main bit that heats up, and it's quite a small laptop as well, so it tends to like trap the heat in it. It's very hard to cool down. So I'm looking probably to get a different laptop next time, but I'll probably still grab an MSI because they really haven't let me down except for the stealth that I've got right now. It's there's a lot of things that I'd change about it, but it's been a good workhorse thus far, doing lots of stuff, playing games, rendering videos. It's done all that I could ask it for, which is great. Also, I'd get a one with a bigger hard drive. It was actually advertised as a 1.5 terabyte hard drive, but it was just a 1 terabyte hard drive, so I didn't go back to the store like Carrot and ask them for a refund. I just sort of grinned and bared it, and I got myself a couple of external hard drives to throw in the USB for extra storage, and even then, I'm already at capacity now, so I'm going to have to make some extremely tough calls when it comes to what games I keep to make room for Starfield, because I've got a lot of space. And also, another thing that I've got is I record most of my Fortnite wins just using the DVR recorder on the Shadowplay, so I could probably set up a bunch of highlight videos and that'd be fine, but the spare time that I did have in my first couple of weeks is going away now because I'm back at work just doing sort of book work. I can't really do anything physical. I can't lift anything with my left arm. And the best part is I'm left-handed, right? So I have to learn how to write stuff down doing book work with my right hand. It's going to be fun to learn how to do that, but it's better than just being confined to the room all day, sitting around and watching TV. Although watching Futurama, binge watching that was pretty enjoyable, but I think I'd prefer to just be out and about, to be honest, not sitting in home and being confined to the same room all day. A little bit better for the mental health, even if I was going outside occasionally just to walk around and absorb some of that sunlight. So I'm leaning towards starting another XCOM playthrough. Obviously, I'm going to spruce it up with a couple of mods to make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit different this time, but I'm going to need to recruit a lot of soldiers for it. Now, I've got, obviously, the 21 characters that I usually use, but last year, I asked some of the subscribers to submit some names for soldiers that I usually create them. They don't really give me any direction, but I created them through the soldier creator, and they come into the game via the character injection that they do. It's a good system. I quite like it. It's a really good thing about XCOM, just to go off on a tangent for a second, because you can get attached to your soldiers, even if they're randoms, but if you set them up and you create them, and then you send them to die, that hurts. When a soldier dies, someone you've created, that's not good. That makes you feel something, you know? So, there's a lot of aspects that I really like about XCOM, but a lot of it's just how you feel, the emotions of it, and the triumph of when you win, when you succeed. And it's like a journey too, because the bond system that they use in XCOM 2 allows the soldiers to, like, you've got a set affinity for each other that all of the soldiers are drawn with. It's all just random numbers, but it turns out that these characters like each other. They've got a high compatibility. They work together and they reap combat benefits out of that. So you get these stories of people getting into relationships or the friendships or what have you, if you feel like it's a little bit more serious than that. And that story kind of works pretty well. So, if you want to Winter, Goth GF, and the XCOM universe, you better send in your soldiers, and then you might get a chance if I don't get to them first. But don't worry, there's 2 Winters. There's the Fallout 76 one and the Fallout 4 one. So, you got double the chances. So I might post something on Twitter, see if I can get the people involved, because I got a couple of people that I play Fortnite with. Usually it's every weekend where the time zones allow us to actually play together, but I haven't been able to do that for a few weeks now, so maybe having them fight for my XCOM campaign, that might be interesting, but we'll see how that goes, and maybe if there's enough of a response in this comment section, if you happen to be watching at this point, we'll see how we go. But going forward, there's not going to be a whole lot from this channel. I might go ahead and finish off that follower mod and release it. Obviously, I can't release it on Xbox is fine. PS4, that's where the problems are, because they don't allow external assets, which, you got all your scripting to stitch together all of the little bits of quests. You can't have that. So unless you do something crazy using some in-game stuff, you're never going to be able to get any of that working properly, which is a real shame, unless you do some real weird stuff. But you can't use script fragments, so like that's 90% of the stuff you just can't do, which is unfortunate, but it's just the way it is. And look, Fallout 4 has been out for over a decade now. If you haven't got an Xbox after throwing out your PS4 for not having proper mods at this point, then that's on you. And if I can be asked, you get a little bit of a documentary about what I went through when I put the new lights in the Commodore. So, I can't even drive with this brace on, so that might be the only chance I get to admire my great Commodore. It's nothing special really, but I love it because it's mine. If you have a car that's like not the best in the world, but you love it anyway, that's the feeling, And if you don't have a car, then get one. Then you'll know exactly how it goes. But I think that's about it for me. I hope you are doing well, and if you're going to be playing Starfield, you've got early access already. Hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully it's a really good game, because we could be at the precipice of having a really generational game. Think about when Skyrim came out back in 2012, it was 2011, and it just took the internet by storm. It was Skyrim everywhere, Skyrim this, Skyrim that, Skyrim the other, every single place. Like every meme was a Skyrim. So it might be one of those situations again, and maybe all of the people will get Bethesda back into the good books at this point after what happened with Fallout 76, which is still getting patched to this day, still doing some good work there, but not as enjoyable as it was at the start. Just stagnated a little bit, but maybe if they bring back Nuclear Winter, we can all go back and just forget about what happened with Fallout Worlds. We'll see how we go. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. I've been rambling for about 15 minutes now. Hopefully it won't be this long after I cut it all down, but I'll see you next time.